I'm officially a Florida man, and there's nothing like the perspective of imminent danger to put. Let me say, because I'm going live. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Well, actually, I do know why I'm doing it, but I was going to say there's nothing like the imminent destruction of everything you own to put life into perspective. Which makes me wonder, why would I bother doing a live stream now at 1 in the morning? Then again, I can't go to sleep. I live in Miami, Florida. Hurricane Irma is about maybe a day and a half away. And I thought I wanted to do like a fun little video, a hurricane party thing, but no, I can't. There's no way. And yet, at the same time, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to capture this, especially after today in the morning when I saw the news about what happened in St. Martin. That's what really put it all like that. That's what was the wake up call for me. And I don't know. I don't have any useful information for that. That's what the news is for. And I wonder to what extent the news is being entirely useful and to what extent it is just alarming the shit out of people, though with good reason. I mean, it's not for nothing why it is. Yeah, it is making me almost shit my pants, especially after what happened with Houston, and my thoughts and soon to be donations, depending on how much I lose, because I'm an atheist. I will remain an atheist, which is something else I kind of wanted to capture live. This does not make me want to believe in God at all. Quite the opposite. And yet it makes me want to live. It makes me, if there's anything about all the stress that I'm feeling right now, it makes me want to solve problems. And like I said, it really puts things in perspective. It's depending on what the hell happens after this weekend. Yeah, my life and my perspective is going to change dramatically. And especially since I like making videos and I like to fashion myself some sort of a writer slash fucking artiste in the media, and doing these video essays and stuff. I'm going to be very careful with how I try to communicate with people, because I have to admit, it's weird, like watching the news. It almost makes me sick to see how they are just trying to fucking scare the shit out of us, and yet they're doing their damnedest to bring us information. And it's real easy for me to say that, on a live stream. I've tried to do my part. I've tried to help neighbors and family with their preparations. Done the best I could. I'm about as prepared as I can be, I guess. And yeah, let me see if anybody's watching this. Let me mute myself. Do I have any? Two viewers? Two viewers. And let's see. And yeah, Victor Rand, that Ronald McDonald speaking at stage right. So Ronald McDonald about to shit his fucking pants. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, man. If you two people want to know what I'm thinking, or if you have any questions, let me know. I was curious. Yes, I am in Florida. Yes, in Miami, and right, I guess, in the eye of or in the path of the hurricane. God, I thought this live stream was going to be a lot more useful and profound, but nothing. I'm just rambling, talking shit. I might even take it down. This might be the very one and only live stream that I might take down. What the fuck? That's what I'm asking myself too. Yeah, I should probably be getting some rest, but I can't. I am stressed out of my mind, and this is my way of dealing with it. Other than I've already been speaking with my wife and making sure everything is in order. And tomorrow, I'm gonna hopefully be spending it with some relatives, riding the storm out that way. And so we'll see, man. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be somewhat interesting to capture this and to just have it out there, you know. But I don't know. I don't even know what to say now. I don't know how much longer I want to keep this live stream going, to tell you the truth. Do I have balls? I think my wife's got bigger balls than me. Just my wife and our 3 cats. I'm going to be with some family tomorrow. And look, one of the things I did want to capture, and at least, you know, you show it, is the state of mind of so many neighbors and people. I wouldn't say it's a state of panic, but it's almost a state of, fuck it. I think enough of us, speaking for myself at least, but I think enough people will probably share the same sentiment. You get to a point where you're just like, fuck it, man. At this point, we'll just see what happens, you know. What I do find interesting is how many religious people are like, well, we'll leave this up into the hands of God. And I sure as shit don't believe that. But I wonder if that's just a subconscious manifestation of, you know, the same thing I'm going through, where you're just like, fuck it, what can you do, man? This is life. This is the way it works. You take the good with the bad. You take the fucking utter destruction with the amazing amount of happiness. And who knows, maybe it'll pass us. I'm hoping. But yeah, it's nerve-wracking to say the least, and I'm trying to keep as calm as possible. And I kind of wanted to capture this for anybody out there, you know. I don't know how this could possibly help anybody if they do stumble into this video. Other than, yeah, almost maybe just one more little psychological case study of what it's like. Look, that's my stomach. I don't know if that's coming out. My stomach is turning right now. No, it's not raining, by the way. It was a beautiful, I leave it up to boarded windows and flex sealing the house. Sticks said, small chance it will get up there towards DC. I can't imagine it going that far. There's 3 of them now. There's Hurricane Irma, fucking cunt. There's Hurricane Jose right behind, and then Hurricane Katia, which ironically enough, today I visited a cousin of mine called Katia. And she didn't even know the name of the 3rd hurricane, but she was the one to tell me, oh, there's a 3rd hurricane brewing. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? And it was interesting because this particular relative, this cousin of mine, she's an older lady, and so she was watching, you know, the news like everybody else. But now I'm starting to distinguish between useful news and news that's just out to fucking scare the shit out of people. And she was describing to me how they were doing 3D models of Key Biscayne, like, you know, areas of Miami, and they're like, and it's gonna just destroy. So everything is this apocalyptic prognostication, you know. And watching a lot of the news, and I'm noticing it's a lot of the left-wing news. When I don't want to get into it, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate it. I appreciate whatever information they can dish out to us. But I do notice that it's a lot of the left-wing ones, the CNNs, the NBC, the Guardian. It's all about fucking and then there's always that little subtle, it's climate change. Told ya. And you know what? Fuck it, man. As someone who is, I want to say I've denied global warming. I've just been highly skeptical of it. I guess there's no more denying that. But flood out the swamp. I love that it's just, well, now it's 5 viewers. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what fucking happens. Like I said, I just wanted to capture this, put my own state of mind, put this just out there, you know, so people will be like, oh, so that's what it's like when it feels like you might fucking lose everything you've ever worked for, which is not much. I don't have fucking much. And not that I'm trying to play a victim either, man. Okay, I am one of those people who's very anti-victimhood. I'm not going to be doing that shit. And this is not about fucking, oh my God, please send me in. This is that. It's my way of dealing with it, and also I don't know if this could possibly be a service to anyone. So just so you can see, this is what it's like about a day before, or a day and a half before a storm comes over it. Quite possibly he's going to level everything according to the news and according to what's already happened. I mean, I don't need to get the shit out of me. I mean, there's already enough horrific, tragic stories coming out of Houston, out of the Caribbean, and we'll see. You know, you can take shelter under failure's loving barefoot. Whatever the fuck that means. I used to be on board with the climate change theory, but now I am very skeptic. Hey, look, man, I hope it's not that. You know, I really hope it isn't. And it's so hard to tell the truth. It's so hard to understand where is the fucking truth. Clearly, there is something going on, man. It's a lot hotter than usual. If we're not being lied to by the news about, you know, this particular hurricane and the supposed 90-degree water, that's the way at least this cousin of mine was trying to describe it. That's keeping it going at 185 mile per hour winds, sustained, still at that fucking speed, coming straight at us. And I don't know, I guess you can't deny that anymore. But I can see why people would want to deny that. And it's the fucking alarmism. It's that which I think it comes from a very almost inevitable place within a lot of people's psyche, people who would be considered on the left, people who consider themselves progressives, and I don't want to judge, criticize. I've been hearing about climate change for 40 years and none of the predictions have come true. Hey man, I hope so. I hope this is all going to end up being just a big fucking much ado about nothing. But apparently it hasn't. I'm seeing more than 95% destruction. I don't know. I'm no hurricane expert, even though I've lived through quite a few hurricanes here in Florida. I drove through Hurricane Andrew like a fucking dickhead when I was younger. That's a story I might save for some other time. Driving down from Orlando, I did the opposite. Everyone right now is trying to drive up to Orlando and past it. And from what I gather, you're just going to get stuck. You're probably going to be stranded. I don't know. I wish for the best for everyone. And I don't deny, just don't care, and proposed solutions are debatable at best. Yeah, I guess, man. Look, I do my part as much as I can, you know, as it is. I mean, without having to be guilted into fucking recycling and being guilted into fucking veganism and all that shit. I try those things the best I can. I try not to fuck people over, you know, whatever it is, natural causes, man-made, the combination, which is more than likely the case. The world just works the way it does. And that's one of the other things that I kind of want to capture, that's interesting to see is when things like this are so beyond your control, there's just nothing you could fucking do. You just submit to life, I guess. And I did my part. I bought a V8 rear-wheel drive car. Not good for you, man. Footprints of houses. Footprints of fucking living, dude. That's another thing, man. I mean, let's assume climate change is man-made. Dude, what the fuck does life expect from us? That's the other interesting thing about life. This is just the way it works. These are all the conditions that just continue and continue and continue. And if it's not the goddamn climate change, it's going to be the artificial intelligence. It's going to be something. There's always something. The older I get, the more I realize life is just this never-ending perpetual chemical reaction that is just in a constant state of creation and destruction, chaos and order. It's a constant flux, and we're part of it. You know, we're almost, I've heard the analogies that humanity is either, you could look at it like an ant farm, you could look at it like a fucking, you know, a bacteria on the planet, whatever the fuck we are. We're here, and with no one fucking knows why. Though you can say with certainty every single religion is bullshit. They're all, I was about to say, pathetic attempts at trying to explain why we're here. And they're reasonable. I could understand. You know, imagine, with all the technology we have now, the hurricane trackers and all this shit, people are still crapping their fucking pants. People still don't know what the fuck to do. Enough people who I know are very intelligent have just found themselves now kind of stranded here. People, conditions that don't allow you to just evacuate. People with businesses, people with jobs. You can't just fucking pack up and go, and that's fucking life. And so you roll with the punches, man. And I don't know, run for your life, nigga. That's racist, by the way. Run for your life, nigga. Anyway, I don't even want to go there. And by the way, though, something like this, something like Hurricane Irma, especially, this puts a lot of that political fucking, the political correctness mass hysteria into perspective, really. And especially living here in a southern state, and from what I understand, Bradenton, Florida, they were just having fucking massive protests about Confederate statues, which I agree, man. Hey, listen, I will never know what it's like to be the descendant of a slave, though I pretty much know what it's like to be the descendant of paupers. My grandfather, who fucking had to fight in the real Revolutionary War of Cuba, an orphan. But anyway, look, with the Confederate statues and stuff, I can understand that, but I think that's a fucking mass hysteria. I think there's plenty of other real fucking problems in society that people should be fucking. You really want to focus your time and energy and fucking gathering protest and shit? I don't think fucking Confederate statues are exactly the goddamn priority. Speaking as a fucking Hispanic, as a spick. Oh man, when I see, and fuck it, I still want to keep living. Fuck all these imbeciles out there. Sorry for triggering. That's all right, dude. I'm already fucking plenty triggered. Anyway, man, I don't even know how much longer I'm gonna keep doing this, but I am. I'm gonna put them in a museum. I would say let whoever lives in those areas, in those districts, let them have a democratic vote. And stop having people from fucking out of town come in and try to decide and demand how other people should fucking have their cities. And it's, you know what the sad part about it is? It's a small group of people who are trying to fucking take advantage of shit. And then how many other people just fucking follow in mass? They just follow in fucking mass. Without thinking for themselves. This was not that much of a fucking problem 10 years ago. Now all of a sudden it's an emergency to take down all, I was about to say it's an emergency to take down all these fucking statues. I hope the people who put that much time and focus and energy, I hope they're volunteering time to helping out the real victims of natural disasters. And not me, though. I'll take care of my damn self. Fucking shit. Anyway, man. Let me see. How many people watching on 7 viewers? I'm getting a whole new crowd here. There's only one person I recognize, Victor Rand. Other than that, climate change, AI side, I'd argue biggest threat is ideologies that get genocide on both sides. I fucking agree. That's one of them. That's definitely one of them. I would say, I think one of the biggest problems that we deal with society is just violent crime, you know, and with all its causes, violent crime by fucking psychopaths or just whatever, it's beyond their control. Violent crime by pieces of shits who know better and they still go along with the crimes. That's where I like to see more of the masses fucking focusing their attention on, you know, and better education. Billy Bond. Yo, if you want to jump in, man, look, you know what? I'm going to put a little fucking invite. I'm not going to be on here for very much longer unless somebody's got something really interesting and worthwhile talking about. Hold on a second. I got my cat wanting to fucking come in on it as well. And so, yeah, man, that's where I'm at. That's where. Yeah, babe, come on in. It's a fucking one of the most informal live streams I've ever done. No, if she wants to come in, she can. Bad Dodge. Hey, anybody who wants to come in, there's the invite. Ockham's Cannon. Yo, what up, man?
You dropped the link. It's gonna be chaos.
I wish I had some bud right now, dude. But in a way, I'm glad I don't, because I think I'd be fucking way panicking right now, man. Even more so than I am now.
You worried?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I at the same time, you know, I want to keep calm. I have no choice. But yeah, when I see how it's just leveled, a place like St. Martin. Hey, what's up, Mad Dodge?
Hey, what's up? If you heard, I'm not being, I was talking to my 4-year-old son. It's way past his bedtime. Told him to lay down. I'm like, I'm not being mean, man. Like,
you know Billy Bond, by the way, or do you guys know each other?
No, I don't think I've met him yet.
Hello.
You guys got any questions for a Florida man?
Are you out of the range of the hurricane?
No. I guess we're directly in the path, man. And there's
not evacuating.
Huh?
You're not evacuating.
There's almost no point in doing it now. At this point, it's almost too late. You know. And
no gas.
Huh?
No gas.
Not only the gas, it's all the roads. I mean, everybody, because there's been so many other counties that had to get evacuated. You know, mandatory, like from the Keys. Key West was one of the first ones, and one of the and plus, I mean, I've lived through enough other hurricanes, and that's one of the things.
You see the size comparison of this and like Andrew, I think it was.
Yeah, I hope that's. I can only hope
that's fake news.
I can only hope it's fake news, man, and that it's just a Photoshop. I got a text this one friend of mine.
What category was it? Do we know?
Oh, well, right now, supposedly
this one's 5. No.
Yeah, Category 5.
What was Andrew?
I believe it was a Category 5 as well. I ended up driving through Andrew actually. Because I remember some friends of mine and I, we just took it for fucking granted. We're like, it's not gonna fucking come down, whatever. And we went up to Orlando, and then is when it was gonna fucking hit. And of course, back then you didn't have Google, you didn't have all this shit. It was just one of those things that, wow. Then when we realized it was gonna hit, we were like, I think we can make it in time, because we thought we still had a full day and we were gonna be able to make it back on time. And dude, before we know it, we got caught in that, and we were like the only car on the fucking highway coming down, tripping acid, by the way. I mean, that's of course the whole reason we were stupid enough to be driving back
in a hurricane, dude.
And
see the great eye.
Huh?
I said, let's drive and trip in a hurricane, bro.
No, let me tell you, that was not at all. We had gone to Disney World because it was a trip that we had planned already for fucking weeks. Well, at that time, I was, fucking 19 or 18. No, 20. I think I was 20 by that point. And, my priorities were elsewhere. And we just didn't think it was going to come down. Just like this one, a lot of people did not expect this to be this bad, you know? Because we've lived through so many of these, and then you see the news, and it's like Chicken Little, you know, and the sky is falling, and now it looks like the sky is fucking beyond falling. It's fucking coming at 185 miles per hour, and
I have a question.
Yep.
So, Harvey hit Texas. Irma is coming into Florida. Right behind that is Hector and another one. And meanwhile, on the West Coast, we're burning alive. Like, literally, the wildfires are 10 minutes up the road from me. What's going on, man?
They don't meet. You can't bring the hurricane to to the
Yeah,
west.
what a shame, huh? What a fucking shame. You cannot have those two together.
Yeah, I never said you could bring the hurricane over
I
here,
know.
but I mean, just weather this year, man. Holy crap.
No, yeah, I mean, it's really making me realize, I think at least I can no longer deny that there is probably some, man-made climate change behind this, whatever. Clearly there's climate change going on, because I have been noticing the past couple of summers here have been way hotter for way longer than I ever remember when I was younger. And yeah, that's why we're getting these hurricanes at these intensities. But last year we had a hurricane. I think it was Hurricane Matthew. I forgot which one.
It's like 100 hurricanes every summer.
No, yeah. And look, that's the other thing. They're named in alphabetical order. Like from when we got Andrew was a capital was the letter A. One. Hurricane Irma, it's almost like halfway through the alphabet. We got Jose and now Katia, coming in. And supposedly there hasn't been 3 hurricanes like this brewing at the same time since 2010, I think was the last time they had that. So yeah, it is what it is, man. And I don't know. I just felt compelled to capture this, and especially since I just can't fucking sleep. I just can't. And I've already gotten as much things done as possible.
You board up the windows or some shit?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had built-in shutters. I mean, that's the other thing.
Nice.
Having lived through this, there's a lot of things that you're ready for.
Yeah.
Tried to help out as many neighbors and family. Try to help people out. And
my uncle's down there. He's got a little 1-story house. Hopefully nothing will happen. And
where is he? Where is he around? Is he Miami?
I forget. Yeah, I forget which part.
And how's he? Have you spoken to him?
I was gonna text him today. I didn't get a chance.
No, that's the other thing. I mean, so many people were going to ride it out. I mean, the only people I know that are evacuating are the people that got mandatory orders, to evacuate.
Yeah.
And I feel for those people because they're probably stuck right now on the turnpike, and then, where to go, because I'm sure almost every hotel is booked. Gas stations are already, there's in my neighborhood, all the gas stations.
When it snows here, people clear out the gas stations and the fucking supermarkets, and there's lines for the gas station like the day before it snows. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, people are getting stupid now. Like, because like one time, like, they ran out of gas, and now everyone's like going every single time it snows.
Yeah, that's insane to me. I live in the Cascades, man. A little bit of snow don't scare us.
It doesn't scare us, but it's just like sometimes it can get shut down here because there'll be like a fucking mini blizzard, and like this fucking the subways. It's hard to keep when they get that much snow.
Now I know Nachi that you're down there, so I'm not trying to make a poor taste joke.
No, man, dude, fucking whatever, man.
But isn't it funny that what is it? Is it Jose or Hector? Whichever the other hurricane is.
Jose.
Irma. I just think it's kind of hilarious. You got the man hurricane chasing the woman one, like.
And they all sound like a bunch of spics.
Toxic masculinity.
I could say spics, and yeah, fucking Irma, Jose. Katia, cojones, because I got a cousin of mine, Katia, and ironically enough, I saw her today, and she's the one that told me about the 3rd hurricane, and she didn't even know it was named after her, which is ironic. But and this one, dude, I got fucking 2 other of these, and I was curious to see if they could sense it, because I've always heard people say, "Oh yeah, no, they could sense it. They start acting real fucking crazy." But I guess it's still pretty calm around here. But I get the feeling they're not going to really act up until the shit actually hits the fan,
I don't need to know how far inland you exactly are, but is it going to break up and dissipate a little bit on the way in before it hits you?
That's what we're hoping for, man. Hey, let me invite one more person in. Magog. What up, Magog?
Anyone could come in, bro. You drop that shit in.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Why not?
Yeah. No, I'm saying.
Why not? Yeah. And no, and I haven't spoken to him in a while, and so yeah, I'm curious to see what he would probably say about this. And so, how are they reporting it up there? I mean, fellow news junkies, what do you guys think about the news and how they're reporting this? Because for me, it almost seems like they're jerking off. They're like, "Oh my God, it's a fucking Category 6. Oh, the destruction."
There's only 5.
Well, doesn't it?
No, well, we saw what happened with Andrew. Well, not Andrew. What the fuck was it? The last one in Texas. Henry. That shit flooded the hell out of Texas. So they like
the problem, from what I read,
the Category 5s could level the houses. That's the problem.
So, well, yes.
That's what's scary about it hitting Miami and shit. I don't even know if. I mean, I'm sure you worry about flooding, but there's a lot of one-story houses, no basements there and shit. But
what's up, Magog?
Yes, Rick.
Hello.
Yeah, I just want to say hi, Magog. I watch your stuff all the time. I've never had the pleasure of saying hi to you. So, hello, sir.
Greetings.
So
I have spoken to Beard Berry one time for you.
Say what?
So you think Irma's going to make it all the way over to Arkansas? Are they trying to scare the shit out of you people over there also, or no?
What are you talking about? I'm in Moscow. It's a whole other dimension.
Can you please fucking stop this hurricane then?
The hurricane is not my fault.
Here, dude.
I swear to God, I had nothing to do with it. What's up, guys?
Sounds highly suspicious, dude.
Yeah.
Cast a spell.
I have a theory. I think Magog was trying to wipe out the Beardbarian, and he hit the wrong coast.
No, it wouldn't be hard to wipe out the Beardbarian. All you'd have to do is just call him gay, and he would rage out and kill himself. Nah, man, I ain't too worried about it inland, this far inland, man.
No, of course not.
You got tornadoes coming off fire.
There's a lot of fake shit out there, though. There's some false fucking photoshopped maps of the storm to scare people online. Y'all read about that?
No.
Like, there's one that was shared like well over like 10,000 times before somebody flagged it and took it down. But it was like a fake storm showing that it was going to hit places it wasn't supposed to hit, like Texas and shit, and just to scare people.
What about the one of Hurricane Andrew and Hurricane, like comparing Hurricane Andrew and Hurricane Irma? Because a friend of mine texted me that, and I was like, I feel like that one might be fake. But I was so busy getting shit done that I was like, dude, I don't have time to fucking check up on this.
And Andrew wasn't as bad as Ivan, was it?
I don't know which one's Ivan, but
Ivan did a lot more damage, I thought. Ivan was 2008. Andrew was when I was a fucking kid, man.
Andrew was like 2000, not 2000. What, like
it was like
97, 98, 99, something.
It was like
no. Andrew was 92.
92.
Yeah, I was like a fucking 8. I was like fucking 9 years old, man, when Andrew went through. I remember.
No, I was in high school. There's no way I was in junior. 92, bro. Really?
Yeah, man. I fucking.
Maybe I was a freshman.
Hugo fucked up my grandparents' house in South Carolina pretty good. Hugo was a pretty bad one. And that was back in the late 80s. Mm-hmm. I was like a little kid, but I don't think, I know it's bad because it's a Cat 6 or whatever and blah, blah, blah. They're calling it a perfect storm and blah, blah, blah. But these things come and go, It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since y'all had a decent one.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. What really made me shit my pants this morning was seeing how it leveled all of St. Martin. Granted, you look at St. Martin on Google Maps and you compare it, it's a tiny island. With very,
weak infrastructure.
And then you got that also.
Yeah, and you gotta understand too, like the devastation of Katrina, for instance. That was not even a powerful storm. It's just that the levees broke.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. When I read on Houston, trying to inform myself, like, how did this go wrong in Houston? It was more of an infrastructure problem, from what I understand.
Well, it was a bad storm, though.
Oh no, for sure. But a bad storm happening in an overdeveloped area, where the developers, from what I understand, from what I've read, where they should have known better than to have overdeveloped in known prone flooded areas or areas prone to flooding.
Yeah, but that can't possibly be.
But George W. Bush didn't like black people.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the videos. You look at the videos from that hurricane that hit Houston, and you see, 12-foot waters going down the interstate. How could they possibly have prepared for that? There's just nothing you can do. Where else are you going to build a fucking interstate? Yeah.
So hey, Nachi, where are you? Are you safe, or are you going to have to evacuate?
I'm actually. It's best that I leave the area that I'm in, but I'm going to be going somewhere that's relatively safe. To a cousin's house that lives in an area that's not, a flood zone, but they're still in Miami. We're still in the fucking path of this.
I don't know.
Now, when's it supposed to hit?
It's supposed to start tomorrow night.
Yeah. Okay.
Supposed to start tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is when you really start to feel it. Tomorrow night is where you want to kind of already be hunkered down in your bunker.
I don't want to hear. Absolutely no bitching. Y'all know this thing's coming. Y'all have had time to get out.
All right.
Man, I live in Arkansas.
Says the man who lives in another dimension, doesn't have to worry about shit.
I live in Arkansas where you don't know the tornadoes are coming until they hit your fucking house, okay?
You broke character.
Well, of course I did. I just start out with the character as a joke. I only stay in character on my own streams now. I stopped doing that shit because it hurts me.
Hey, by the way,
No, but that was my question, Nachi, is you guys had 5 or 6 days advance notice. Why didn't you get out?
It's because they don't name the storms good.
Well, here's the thing.
If they named it Doomsday 9000, niggas would have got out. Okay?
There you go.
Listen, I'm not going to be claiming victimhood, dude. I'm not going to be claiming victimhood. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm so fucking poor. No, fuck it. I mean, the thing was that 5 days ago, it wasn't, for me, it sounded like every other hurricane warning that I've always heard that turns out to be much ado about nothing. You know what I mean? And that was one of the things.
You still got a whole day, man. Get the fuck out. Why are you on a live stream?
Good question.
You got a bike behind you, motherfucker. Get on it.
That's not going to help you in a storm.
You can outrun it. Go. We believe in you, nigga. Go.
That's racist, by the way.
Yeah, Magog.
What, that you own?
No, yeah, you're right. I'd probably have no excuse. Here's where I guess, look, for all my talk of fucking mass hysteria and people like the herd mentality, I'm kind of falling prey to that myself because I'm going by what everyone else, I'm seeing friends, family, no one seems to be leaving. You know what I mean? And then from the ones that have been leaving, you hear about the fucking, getting stuck on the Florida Turnpike and where you can go. Almost all of Florida is under how do you call it? Some sort of watch, unless you. Huh?
Well, it's you're in a low sea level and you're in the dick of America, so you got to drive up, and then out. But maybe it'll be cool though. At least film that motherfucker and put it on your channel or something.
Yeah, but everybody's going to be getting out of there. So you're going to get stuck in traffic, and I hope you have a lot of gasoline.
No, and that's the other thing. I mean, the gas stations are running out of fuel. They're known to just fuck it. Quite a few of them are already closed around my neighborhood.
Did Failure get out? Fuck it, he's in Miami too, isn't he?
I saw that he had done a stream today, so I don't know. I didn't listen to that stream because I've just been fucking getting everything ready today, and I was even debating, should I even bother making a fucking stream?
Yeah, but when it hits Miami, it's going to slow down by the time it gets to Miami, right? I mean, Miami's a little further up in Florida, isn't it?
No, it's going all the way up Florida.
No. Miami's pretty much the asshole of Florida.
Really? What am I thinking of then? What's the one that's a little higher up then?
Orlando.
Maybe thinking
Orlando. Yeah. Okay.
Orlando, but even Orlando, I mean,
I've never even been to Florida, so
what?
I'm guessing, man.
That's the one place almost everyone in America's been for.
Nope, I've never been to Florida, man. I mean, honestly, I've just never been tempted to go because, honestly, y'all got everything scares the hell out of me in Florida. Everything that I am frightened of in life is in Florida. Giant sinkholes eat entire houses. Y'all got gators everywhere, giant snakes and shit.
Gators
fucking
everywhere.
Storms that fucking come up and just shit hammer the hell out of you guys. I mean, why the fuck would anybody want to live there?
They got Disneyland.
That terrifies me even more. The moment they built a fake ass plastic Hogwarts there, I was like, I ain't never going. I ain't never going. I ain't never going. They built Harry Potter land. Fuck that place.
This was the fucking Drudge Report today. You have been warned. It's like a big fuck you. Don't complain after this shit.
Well, I mean,
doing a fucking live stream.
Well, you know, I mean, what are the odds of you actually like? I don't know how Miami is. I know you guys got a lot of canals and stuff. Those are going to overflow.
Yeah, I do not. I really do not expect this to end up like Houston. I really don't. At least from informing myself, I don't think we don't have that same problem. And we have just historically, my neighborhood during all these storms, it's never flooded past my doorstep. You know?
Yeah, I could just Nachi you just need to release a video of you just drinking and just like be like, it's not a Sharknado. What are y'all worried about?
Do you have a canoe?
I had an inflatable raft, and I was thinking of pulling that out, but I'm like, you know what, fuck it. And that's the other thing that I kind of wanted to capture. I'm at a point where I'm just like, I'm ready to lose everything. Maybe it's because I don't have a kid yet. Because the only person I know that drove all the way to Virginia is a guy who has a not even a 3-year-old, like a 2-year-old daughter. The only person I know that was like, I'm fucking out of here.
Well, when Hugo hit the coast, and because I was born in Charleston, South Carolina, and I was a little baby, so I don't remember it, but I remember all the pictures and stuff my mom took from my grandparents' place. And they packed us all up, and we went to Georgia and stayed with my aunt until Hugo ran its course, you know. So I can kind of remember being in the car, but that does make sense. When you got a family, man, that's number one, you know.
No, and maybe that would have sparked something inside me that I would have been like, no, I mean, I do have a family. I got my wife. I got 3 cats, I guess. That counts for a family.
Take care of the cats. Take care of that bike.
Well, that's gonna probably go to shit. But again, I cannot imagine this fucking flooding to that.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I mean, it's a powerful storm, but at the same time, I mean, you're not an island like the islands that have been hit already and just got shit hammered. You know, like you guys might be able to absorb it a little better. There's going to be damage though. Be prepared for that. Yeah. But I don't know if. Sure. Yeah, I don't know if y'all gonna have gators in your living room and shit like that motherfucker in Houston. He walked home, you know, he got home once the floodwaters went down. He walked into his living room. There was a fucking 16-footer in his living room just chilling. Wow. I read that story online. He took pictures of it. It's sitting there on the couch. Like motherfucking gator just moved in.
remote in its paw, sitting there watching TV.
I heard that story too, but I didn't see the pictures. No, I mean, I can only imagine if I see some opening into my house that wasn't there before, then yeah, I would fucking proceed with caution.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, definitely.
I just want to see a live stream of you on the roof, freaking straight up Forrest Gump style. Bring it on, Storm. You got nothing.
Just don't pull a George Clooney in Perfect Storm and decide to, you know, get out on a boat. Okay, don't do that. Don't go out in the ocean and face it head on, you know.
I really don't think it's going to come to that. I really do not. It's going to definitely be, we're all going to be shitting bricks for sure. But I don't think it's going to come to the fucking what's flooding. And
we're going to turn on the news and you're going to be up on your roof and some rescue crew is going to have to get you down. You'll have your mask on and your hat and everything.
I tell you what, when the when the F4s, it was an F4. When the F4 come through 3 years ago, I believe it was, and hit Mayflower, Arkansas. I mean, even Obama declared it a national disaster zone. It killed 88 people or something. I mean, it fucked that town up big time. That fucking tornado was a mile in diameter.
Damn.
Like, that was a big motherfucker. And so, like, devastation on that scale, that it even burst an oil pipeline and flooded a fucking lake with oil and shit. And it was just a bad fucking thing. Tornadoes are worse, in my opinion, than hurricanes, because at least you can see hurricanes coming, you know? But at the same time, I am bothered by how they name these things really, like, benign fucking names like Hugo and Andrew. They really need to, like, when a perfect storm rolls up and it's like a category 6, they need to be like, Wrath of God is coming, y'all. Get the fuck out. Wrath of God is coming. The hurricane Wrath of God. You know, like,
hurricane, you're gonna die.
I think that would light a fire under people's asses a little bit faster. You know, I personally, if they started naming them like fucking Hurricane Godzilla's coming, motherfuckers. You know?
Yeah, there you go. Now people would be scared of that one, Hurricane Godzilla.
Fuck yeah, but I think you'd be all right, man. Just fucking get to your roof if the water starts coming in. You don't want to be trapped in a house with filling up water, man.
Well, that's the other thing. If the hurricane is a fucking brewing outside, you don't want to be outside.
Well, of course, but I mean, you don't want to be trapped in a house that might collapse in a flood zone either. That'll kill you.
For sure. Yeah. No, that's why we're going to somewhere where it's higher ground and, fucking.
Yeah, you only got no mountains there, dude.
Generator, there's plenty, because that's the thing. Again, enough of us have lived for decades. Hey, Magan, what about the tornadoes that you've lived through and stuff? I'd be very curious.
I've lived through two tornadoes in my life here in Arkansas. One was just a little F1, and we sat out on the porch drinking beer, watching it. Just look at that little motherfucker. You ain't gonna do shit. It's the F3, however, scared the holy living piss out of me, and not a lot scares me. I went to war. I was in Iraq. I seen some shit and done some shit. Okay. And I got through it just fine. But F3, man, you want to talk about pucker factor 10. Your fucking asshole tighten up quick. You won't even have Crohn's disease after that motherfucker. You see a motherfucker like that. I was driving on a highway. I was 19 years old. And I was me and my friend were coming back from North Little Rock driving into Jacksonville. And we were in his 79 Thunderbird, 400 big block modified, 351 Cleveland modified 400. Old ass fucking car, man. Still had the 8-track player in it. We used to work on classics when we were kids. And we're driving back and it's hailing. It's raining. I mean, it's just a shit storm, man. The wind is blowing. The rain is sideways. Couldn't hardly see. Windshield wipers going full blown and you still couldn't see the damn highway. Then all of a sudden, the rain stopped and the hail stopped and the wind just stopped. Like we just drove through a portal and it even got a little sunny. And we were like, and because we lived in Arkansas, we knew that wasn't like, oh, we reached the edge of the storm. That was me and my friend Jeff looked at each other and went, fuck me. And then all of a sudden just, I mean, it sounded like a freight train. We're driving down the highway. We look over to the right, and there's this fucking F3 barreling down the side of the highway, just tearing up all the farms, just fucking them up, man. Power lines are going flying through the air. There's fucking sticks. There's fucking debris. Fucking tractor is flying around in that motherfucker, And we gunned it, man. Your ears popped. Couldn't hear a fucking thing. And my buddy hit the gas, man, and we whomped on that fucking big block V8, hit probably about 110, 150 miles per hour, got in front of it, looked back, it crossed the highway right when we got in front of it, man. Scared the shit out of us, man. Oh, fuck me. That was a scary motherfucker. It wasn't like the movie Twister. It wasn't like that. Yeah. No, it was more real.
I survived one tornado, I guess. I was born in Shreveport, so I guess when I was a baby, like 6 months old, a tornado hit. I'm not sure what classification it was, but supposedly my mom just sat there holding the crib down, and I slept right through to some bitch as it went over the house and wiped out the house next door. So,
wow.
Woo, missed you.
Damn.
Yeah, right. I might not be here today.
Yeah, if it took out a house, it had to be at least an F2 because F1s are basically like they'll fuck the shingles up on your house. And if they're a direct hit, they might take a house down. Definitely take a trailer down, but not a house. But anything above an F2, F1, you probably actually want to be scared of. An F1, you could probably survive. They're just little fucking things. But F2 and up, they start getting much stronger. F5's the highest classification. And, you know, just like in the movie Twister, that's the finger of God. You know, the F5 that hit northern Arkansas maybe 5-6 years ago was 1.5 miles in diameter. A fucking 1.5 miles.
So, Nachi, when are you planning to leave?
No, tomorrow afternoon, we're driving out, and yeah, I mean, just hoping for the best, man. I mean,
you guys got insurance?
Yeah, we'll see, dude. Well, I just, because that's the other thing that worries me. You think you're insured, but then you're not, and
yeah, house insurance is finicky. You fucking pay on something for 30 fucking years, and then one day something actually goes off, and they're like, "Oh, you actually needed the other plan." Yeah, fuck you! Right. I've been giving you money for 30 fucking years. You fix my shit.
Yeah. You didn't read the fine print.
Gotta be careful of that shit.
Yeah, man. But no, what I was gonna say is, yeah, I've got also a driving through Hurricane Andrew story. But it doesn't. Well, it's pretty much like what you went through, but I mean, it was just nonstop for fucking 3 hours, just driving through that shit. And amazingly enough, fucking making it to my aunt's house, because we left from Orlando, Florida, to Miami, like the opposite direction. People were fucking leaving. But at that point, we were the only car driving down the highway. We were like the only ones, and then we were tripping acid to top it off. It was
nice. Yeah, hell yeah.
We're coming off it, and because we had been to Disney World, and we just did not think, just like this. So we did not think that the hurricane was going to come through. We thought it was bullshit, and we had been planning this trip, literally a fucking trip and an acid trip, for like weeks, you know. And so we're like, no, we're not fucking dropping this fucking hurricane. Fuck the goddamn hurricane. We're going up there. But then around midnight, you know, I decided to call up my parents, and I'm like, hey, so how are things going? And they're like, oh my God, wherever you are, stay there. Don't come down here. And I was like, what? And they're like, the hurricane's going to be coming over. And then I started feeling guilty, and so did my friends. We were like, holy shit, if anything happens to our families and we are not there to help because we fucking wanted to go to Disney World to trip acid, we're never going to fucking be able to ourselves. And we thought we had time, because I remember it was like around midnight when we were starting to drive back down, and they were like, no, the storm's not expected until like the early morning, like around 7 in the morning or something. Like, oh, we got time, we'll make it before that, dude. And well, first of all, it doesn't just come clean. It's not like this clean thing that just comes in. No, you got all the fucking winds, and then those winds start slowing you down, and then you got the rain, which slows you down even further. Before we knew it, we're like, fucking, it's 3 in the morning, and we're on the fucking highway, and we're not even halfway, like, home. And now we got to fucking make it home. And it's just, whoa, dude, seeing highway signs just ripping off and flying into the middle of the night, and seeing fucking entire, like, light poles coming down, having to drive around the light poles, having to drive it was almost like 25 miles an hour. So by the time we finally made it to Miami, yeah, it was full on fucking Hurricane Andrew. And we only, just because we were starting to guide ourselves by what we knew, like familiar landmarks, because fucking highway signs were already ripped. So we didn't know which highway, you know, which exit to get off, until I kind of realized some of the areas. And I'm like, I think that's the exit we got to get off. And we got off on that exit. And yeah, it was like a war zone. That was, I mean, you've actually been in a war zone, so I don't feel right fucking saying that.
No, you're good. I tell you what, the Middle East, they could use a fucking hurricane. They never rain there, man. They'd love all that rain.
So anyway, so tell me, which tour did you go? What year were you in Iraq? What was
I was in Iraq 09 and 2010. Did convoys. Drove all over that motherfucker. Been to Baghdad. I mean, you name it. I've been to almost every fob in Iraq.
Oh man, that's the convoy missions.
Yep.
That's you were getting freaking roadside bombed, man.
Yep, 424 medium truck detachment. And I was Air Force too. That wasn't no fucking Army shit. We did convoys hardcore, man. That's the one thing like Iron Man actually got right. Like the first Iron Man movie when Tony Stark gets in the fucking Humvee, you know, before they get blowed up and he gets kidnapped and thrown in a cave. You guys remember that?
That's the only one. That's the only Iron Man I ever saw. So
I distinctly remember being impressed by that movie because he was all like he called the girl driving a soldier, and she's like, "I'm not a soldier, I'm an airman," and she had airman ranks on and stuff. A lot of people didn't know that, but Air Force did convoys. We did vehicle ops, transportation. And that's what I did, man. 9 months, 30 missions.
Damn.
You know? Yep. Been all over, man.
I know you hear it all the time, but thank you, man.
Hey,
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I'll tell you. Now, speaking of storms, though, sandstorms. Y'all ever been through one?
I've been through one actually. When I was out in, I think in South Dakota, not South Dakota, around Arizona. It's fucking. It was just all white, just fucking.
Yep. It's almost like snow blindness if it's daytime. You know. It's fucking crazy, man. And they always get the sand wrong in those movies because they always film it out in the California deserts or something, you know, to film Iraq movies. But, man, that shit, we used to call it moon dust. It's like baby powder. You kick it and it just float in the air. You know, it's so light and fluffy and it gets everywhere, man. Swear to God, when I finally got back to my home station in England, I was still like, you'd take a shower a week later, still sand in the bottom of the tub. You're like, where's it coming from? The fuck is it coming from?
It's embedded in your pores.
Like up inside my fucking ass crack or something. I don't know, man. I scrubbed that motherfucker. I guess I missed the spot, you know? But, man, the sandstorm's there because of how light the sand is, how kind of fluffy and just fucking light it is. It just blinds you, man. It's like, and it feels like sandpaper when it brushes against your skin and shit. You got to wear a face mask and shit, man. Goggles.
Wow. Does it get into your lungs, too?
Oh, yeah. Wow. You hawk up, when you get back to stateside or whatever, man, you hawk up fucking black and brown dirt out of your lungs for like days. Spit it off in the sink and shit. It crashed my laptop, too. That sand got all up inside my motherfucking computer.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man. That shit. And we had to wash our trucks, too, after every mission. You ever try to wash a truck in a desert?
In a sandstorm? They didn't have you wash it. Did they seriously?
Yeah. You pull it in the wash bay and you spray it all off and it turns into mud and you sit there and you spend an hour spraying it out, spraying out the engine fucking compartment and everything. Then you drive it out of the fucking wash bay and it gets dirty again. Like the sand just hits it again. You're like, whatever.
And are you still like on call? Do they still have you or is your...
No, I was injured in Iraq. I'm a disabled vet. You know, I busted my truck up. I Dukes of Hazzard my truck over a concrete barrier in North Baghdad, getting out of a kill zone. We were taking small arms fire. And I fucking hit my head on the ceiling of my own truck when I went over that concrete barrier, compressed my spine, blew a disc in my neck. Yeah. Man. That was it for me. They were like, thanks for serving. I didn't get blown up or anything. I seen a buddy get blown up. And luckily we were up armored and it was a pretty small IED. And I talked to him afterwards. It was so funny because the commanders, you know, officers, man, they never see action because they're all behind desks and stuff. So he come running up. We got back to the fob. He come running up and he's, oh, where's the airman that got hit? I got to talk to him. And, you know, he's all excited like he wanted to write a book about it or something. I'm fucking airman. I'll never forget his answer, dude. Airman Jenkins, man. That motherfucker, a commander, a full bird colonel, walked up to him and was like, what did it feel like?
What did it feel like?
What did it feel like? Fucking Jenkins, which is not his real name. I'm not giving out real names, so I'm making them up. But airman buddy of mine, he looked at full bird colonel dead in the eyes and he went, didn't feel like a blowjob, sir.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure, sir. Pretty sure.
Well, sir, didn't feel like a blowjob. I can tell you that.
That was probably the nicest thing that went through his head. He said, okay, that I could probably say.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see that movie War Machine with Brad Pitt?
No, I kind of stopped watching Iraq movies because they do a little something to me. I don't like it too much. Last Iraq movie I saw was The Green Zone with Matt Damon, and I only watched that one to catch my buddies in the background because they were actually filming in London, and we were all walking around in the background. They got 1,000 troops from the air base and the army base there to get into our uniforms and be background extras. I met Matt Damon that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I drove the bus though, so I couldn't be in the background because I had to stay with my bus. But I took all the, I was with the, we were vehicle ops, so we took all the troops up there to London, and they were shooting the BIOP scenes, Baghdad International Airport scenes in London, Heathrow. They closed down a whole section of London Heathrow and put green screens up and all kinds of shit. And they were filming the Green Zone, and we had to stay with our buses, the drivers did, so all my friends got to go inside and be in a movie with Matt Damon. And I had to stay with my bus. So my sergeant walked up to Matt Damon after they were done filming and was like, I got some guys outside with their buses. They couldn't be in here. And Matt Damon was like, say no more. Come walking out. I'm chilling in my bus, listening to music, smoking cigarettes out the fucking window. We're not supposed to smoke in GOVs, but fuck it. I was there for hours. And I heard a knock on my bus door, and I opened it up, and I was like, oh, shit, it's Jason Bourne. I literally said that to Matt Damon. He laughed, man. I was like, do you need to commandeer my vehicle, Jason Bourne? He stepped up on the first step, shook my hand, and I was like, love your movies, man. That's awesome, and moved on and met the other guys. Yeah. But that was the last movie I saw from Iraq. I don't really care for Iraq movies,
Hey, thanks for contributing all these stories to this live stream, dude. Because I was even thinking of just ditching this live stream like once it was going to come up, because like the first 5 minutes I was just so fucking awkward. I'm like, why am I even doing this?
Right. I'm sorry. I was about to apologize for taking over your stream.
Oh, man, hey, fucking, you've done it beautifully. But what I was going to say just really quick about the War Machine movie, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it's about pretty much Stanley McChrystal.
Yeah, it's based on a true story.
Yeah, based on a true story. And like most Hollywood movies, you're like, what the fuck is true? What the hell is not?
Right.
And all that. But one of the things that it seems like they did capture is just the clusterfuck of misinformation and just bad orders and people risking their lives at the wrong time for the wrong reasons. And it's just like,
see, I joined a little later, but some of my sergeants and stuff had been in Iraq. They did the first tour of convoy duty back in like 03, 04. Those were the bad days. And they told me stories that blew my fucking mind. They were like, man, we didn't have armor on our Humvees or anything. We had sandbags in the floor for like extra padding against IEDs. We didn't even have armor. They were driving around in Humvees with no fucking armor, and they had to like Frankenstein the shit together. They were welding metal and stop signs and shit to the outsides of their Humvees and their trucks and shit just to add a little extra something to protect them from bombs. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, fucking hell, man. We were unprepared when we first landed there. We really were.
My God.
Hey, Nachi, sorry to interrupt, but I'm gonna take off. But hey, thanks, guys. It was a lot of fun. And Nachi, I hope you're safe, man. Get out of there while you can, all right?
No, thank you. All right. Man. Thanks for joining, dude.
All right, good night, all. Take care.
Later man.
Yep, nice to meet you. And the dog, you're right. My buddy was in the National Guard, and he served in 04 and served again 05 and 06, I think. He went a few times, man. And he was telling me some stories, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Now, one of the biggest lies, I think, was I can never remember George W. Bush ever saying that we went to Iraq because Saddam had nukes. So the big controversy was he didn't have WMDs. He didn't say nuke, he said WMD. And that's what always has pissed me off, because civilians, anybody who served in the military knows what a WMD is. WMD does not necessarily mean nuclear warhead.
No, it means chemical or biological weapons.
It can be anything that wipes out a large population of people. And we know he had WMD. He killed 5,000 Kurds with sarin gas. We know he had them. That motherfucker needed to be taken out. Now, whether it was our job to do it or not, and whether we should have done it on the backbone of 9/11, that can be argued. I understand that, but I'm really tired of this argument that like George Bush told us he had WMDs and it was a lie. No, that's not a lie. They had them. He killed a shit ton of people with them. Okay, stop with that nonsense, please, people. For the love of God, stop it.
The one thing that I would also say, though, and I mean, that's where, you know, if you try to look at it from every single angle, I mean, at the same time, George Bush Sr., to a large degree, and Ronald Reagan helped put fucking Saddam Hussein into power to a large degree. I mean,
yeah, but we didn't know he was going to be a psycho. He was fighting the Russians, and we were all about fighting the Russians in the 80s.
Well, Saddam wasn't fighting the Russians. You're thinking
not
of
him
Osama?
particularly, but we helped them kick the fucking Russians out. That's what we do. Most of the weapons they use are Russian.
I thought that also one of the things was that since he was, you know, against Iran and they went to war with Iran, that's especially you have the Iran-Contra situation.
Yeah, when the Iran-Iraq war happened, that's when we sold them their chemical and biological weapons. We actually sold them to them.
Yeah, and we shouldn't have done that because we also didn't have the same laws as we do now.
And by the way, that was one of the jokes that I would, it's not really a joke, but whatever, that I would say whenever people are like, oh, you know, they're fucking lying about the WMDs. And I'm like, dude, at any moment, these people are going to be like, hey, dude, we got the fucking receipts. We know they have the WMDs because we got the fucking receipts. We sold it to them.
Yeah, right. And that was even a joke in the 80s. There was a stand-up comedian. I was watching an old, like, 1980s stand-up comedian, and I can't remember his name, but that was one of the lines. That literally was one of the lines where they're like, they might have nukes. We know they have nukes. Why? Because we sold them to them. You know, like it was just a joke, you know, but it was like, of course we did business with the Middle East. Everybody knew as soon as World War II ended, the next conflict was going to be in the Middle East. Of course it was. Pipelines were being built. Now, how Bush Sr. got into it was when Iraq decided to set foot in Kuwait. And that was a big no-no. You know, we didn't like that so much. They were one of the friendlier countries over there that were our allies, and we did not like that one bit. And it's like a race war with them people. It really is. It's fucking religion, and it's thousands of years of religion and land disputes and everything. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. I mean, like, yes, they've been fighting over that same hunk of desert for thousands of years. And the reason is because of religion and culture and, you know, land ownership and all this and that. But it's also because it's really, really hot and there's not enough water. And those who have the water have the power. Period.
Nachi, I'll probably never get Magog on my channel. So may I ask him a question real quick?
I bet.
All right, Magog, how do you feel about North Korea? Should we intervene or should we stand back? What's your thoughts?
Well, we should definitely stop allowing Dennis Rodman to go there.
I just saw the fucking headline. I don't even want to click on this shit.
I have a different perspective on North Korea, and you guys might not like it. A lot of people don't like it.
Sure, man.
My grandfather served in the Korean War. Okay. And as far as North Korea goes, them some evil motherfuckers, the way they treat even their own citizens. And honestly, it's bound to happen. We have actually never stopped being at war with them. It's just a ceasefire. We've actually been still declared war on North Korea since it all started. It's been like 60 fucking years. We've never not protected South Korea. And so our troops are going to be on the 38th until this gets resolved. And it might get to a point where the only way it can get resolved is to bomb the living shit out of them. And it's going to suck when it happens because they have bombs too and all that stuff. But it's eventually going to come to an head because an internal revolution has yet to take place. That's what we've actually been waiting on. We've been waiting on North Korea to collapse under their own like communist weight, you know, like, you know, massive dictators usually don't stay in power as long as the Un family does, but they've been able to hold on to it.
Don't even get me started, dude. Don't even get me started on fucking Castro.
You know, yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things, you know, that's just like we've been kind of waiting for their own people to revolution. But the problem is North Korea is a lot like Cuba in the way that they don't allow outside news or anything like that. Like everything is controlled by the government. So these people, they don't even learn history, or they don't even get other points of views or anything like that. Like they're trapped inside their own country with a massive dictator, you know, who's absolutely savage, you know. We will have to eventually face off with them motherfuckers. The only reason they have not crossed the DMZ is because of about 1 million landmines. That's really the only reason. We put down so many landmines along the DMZ separating South and North Korea that they can't send troops over. They don't know where all the landmines are. And there's literally 1 million landmines, which is why the United States has never signed the treaty to ban landmines, even though they've been devastating on cultures. You know, African kids in Ethiopia still step on them now and again. It blows them all up and shit, you know. And UN have wanted to ban the use of landmines since the end of, you know, World War II, and we won't sign it because of that. Because we would never sign a thing that would say we condemn landmines when we're currently using 1 million landmines to protect South Korea.
All right. So first, couldn't they use the Tor network? And go ahead, Nachi. It's your channel. I'm sorry, sir.
No, that's fine. No, what I was going to say when you were bringing up Iraq and stuff, and you were talking about, you know, it's thousands of years over this territory and like in the cultures. I think it even goes deeper than that. And I'm curious. I mean, you've lived it. You've been there. You've seen fucking the fog of war.
Yeah.
I do wonder to what degree enough almost inevitable, though I don't want to believe that, because I think, you know, we as a species have become more and more peaceful. You know, if you go by body counts and stuff like that and whatever, according to people like Steven Pinker, we've actually become more peaceful as a species. But it is scary to see that. I think it goes beyond that. I think it's just like that constant power struggle. I think it's just life manifesting itself through this, like I was saying at the beginning of the stream. It's like this never-ending chemical reaction of just fucking creation and destruction, just going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it manifests itself usually in the forms of these dictators who don't give a fuck about the ideologies in the end. The only thing they care about is being in absolute power. And sadly enough, the masses of people that will follow them to their fucking graves, dude. I think that's what the formula is. It's a small group of men, and it's almost always men. And the fucking millions of people that will be like, yes, yeah. And then you see it definitely through religion, but you also see it through political ideologies, even the atheist ones.
Yeah, but you're touching on an existential philosophical way of looking at the universe and human nature, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But using that same philosophy, you could say that we're nothing but we're not even a speck of dust on a grain of sand in the universe. Nothing really fucking matters. It is religion over there, purely.
Oh, no, for sure. I think that's what you see on the surface. I think that's clearly what you see on the surface, what's really driving it behind that. And I think if people truly understood this, now, this is a hypothesis of mine, if we can get people to understand the real engine, we could have peace. We could have people to stop following these motherfucking psychopaths.
Well, you can't. It's not about who they're following either. See, the problem with ideology, it doesn't matter if it's political or religious or whatever. The problem with ideology is it can be passed on to multiple leaders. It's not just one guy or a group of small guys that gained a lot of power. Those guys are the leaders, yes. But the problem is that it's the rules by which they live by. And their society in the Middle East is completely governed by their religion. Unlike here in America, where we've separated, for the most part, we've separated any kind of national religion from governing our country. And the founding fathers did that on purpose because they didn't like how the Church of England and the Catholic Church was doing things. And that just doesn't really happen in other cultures. For the most part, we're the most unique country in the world simply because of that.
I agree.
You know, because if you even if you go to another peaceful nation like in South America or something, or there's plenty of peaceful nations around the world that still don't have the same philosophy as we do. So it is a matter of religion, and it is a matter of power. Of course it is. But the power is derived from the ideology and the rules that they all decide to live by. And then who enforces them is the one who has the power. But ultimately, it's the religion itself. And how much people buy into the ideology. It is human nature. The utopian society will never come to be as long as human beings act the way we do. And how do you stop people acting the way we do?
Well, no, and isn't it also like the political conflict?
By the way, if you stop people acting, sorry to talk over you there, but I would say you stop people acting the way they do with information, accurate information, and fucking the promise of hopeful, better situations, which this country, I think, has provided.
It's idealistic. It's idealistic, and I agree with you, but at the same time, it's almost impossible. Because have you ever tried to argue information and facts and give people all this like stuff who are believers? They shoot it down anyway. They don't want to learn it. That's the problem. It challenges the core of their beliefs, you know?
Well, and also if you're looking at the European, the Asian, even the African continents, the political structures there are a lot more small and antagonistic towards each other. We get kind of spoiled over here. North America, we own three quarters of it. Canada has the top half, kinda. I mean, really, we have a whole continent to make peace in. They have, like, look at Israel. How big is Israel? The size of Rhode Island? I mean,
but that's not a microcosm. Could explain some things, but it doesn't necessarily explain all things, because Africa's a continent, and then people are far from fucking being at peace with each other. Okay. Okay. Go to the Congo and then come back if you make it back, and then tell me how it is on a continent.
Well, absolutely. But the Congo is a small country within the African continent.
Yeah, but they've never been able to. Yeah, but they've never been able to solidify peace on that entire continent. It's not. You know.
But then again, coming back to the information, look at the kind of information that they rely on. I mean, they're still entertaining, not even entertaining, they're still fucking basing so much of their decisions on witchcraft. I mean, they still pursue fucking albinos as fucking, like, you know, some sort of evil spirits incarnate. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's the point that I'm, you know, trying to make. But
yeah, information is a good thing when people start embracing enlightenment values, learning science and information and things like that. But they have to embrace them. And in order to embrace them, there has to be a reformation within their own ideology. The reason the Enlightenment even came about in Europe was because of the Reformation of the Catholic Church. If the Reformation had never happened, the Enlightenment probably would have never happened, because people would have still been really hardcore believers who never questioned the church. But the Reformation happened, and people started looking at the Catholic Church and going, man, these are greedy motherfuckers. And they got all this gold and all this shit, and we're living in fucking poverty, and the fucking Catholic Church is rich and powerful, and they, you know, they're greedy, and they buy land, and they take our gold from us, all in the name of God. If the Catholic Church hadn't have done that, and there was never a Reformation, we probably would not be as enlightened. We would have probably never went through the Enlightenment period, because nobody would have questioned the word of God. It takes thousands of years sometimes. And it's all about hierarchies. It's all about dominance hierarchies, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's a long, hard slog, you know, and you see it with humanity, but you also see it with nature, with this fucking hurricane that's coming over here. There ain't no fucking stopping it.
No, you know? Nature is the chaos of the equation. Nature's the thing that the illusion is that we can somehow overcome nature. And that's the great illusion, because we can't. Not completely. Like, yeah, we can build stronger buildings. We can build skyscrapers that float on water so that when an earthquake hits in LA, they won't come crumbling down. I mean, there's amazing technology that has protect us from the natural elements that happens on the earth. And that's how a species survive, is to constantly fight against Mother Nature. But at the same time, as you've seen with perfect storms such as this, this is literally a sneeze in comparison to what nature could do to us if it just decides to do it. Yeah. And that's the great illusion, is that we're somehow protected because we live in a Western society with technology and all this and that. And anytime we see a tsunami in Indonesia that kills hundreds of thousands of people, we're sad, and we put flags up on our Facebook page and we say we stand in solidarity, but at the same time, it doesn't affect us. But what happens one day when Mother Nature's like, all the volcanoes erupt now?
Yeah.
You know, what happens when a meteorite hits? You know, what happens when some fucked up shit happens with our electromagnetic, you know, field around the Earth that holds our atmosphere in? You know, the Earth will be here long after we're fried off the surface of it. You know, but that's the great illusion, is that somehow we're overcoming nature when we can't even overcome our own natures. You know, our internal demons. You know, as a human species, not individually. I've met some really enlightened people, and I've learned a lot about the Islamic religion, especially, and other religions. I study them kind of for fun because I'm very interested in them, and from a theological standpoint, you know. And I learned a lot about the Muslim religion and kind of where it all comes from, and you know, the story of Isaac and Ishmael, and you know, how the birth of Islam came about under Muhammad, and how he threw all the idols out of the temple, you know, and
which is ironic because it sounds almost like the same shit for fucking Jesus. I mean, so much of it is a ripoff of Christianity and Judaism. You know?
Yeah, you got to understand too that it's all the same Abrahamic God.
Yeah.
But Muhammad was supposedly given onto him a message from God, from Gabriel.
No, yeah, it's the same angel Gabriel that fucking spoke to Abraham, that spoke to fucking the Virgin Mary. Fucking,
you know, but what's weird about Islam compared to other religions, now Christians did go through this, but they still to this day practice iconoclasm, where they are not allowed to paint a picture of their God or their prophet. They're not allowing other religions to have their idols. They tore down entire statues of Buddha in the Middle East. I mean, they blew them up, you know, because they don't like religious icons. It's a very opposite religion compared to every other religion in the world. Every other religion in the world takes pride in their idols. They build statues to their gods. They build temples. They do this. They do that. Where Islam is kind of like, no, you're not allowed to show that.
You know, and here's what I think it's based from the Judaic, the Jewish concept, the Judaic concept, because they also don't have idols, and especially, I guess, from the Ten Commandments, you know, thou shalt not have any idols before me, and with Moses and all that bullshit. And there's a real strength to that too. And I think Sigmund Freud wrote a whole book on that, because if you don't have an idol, there's nothing that your enemies can destroy. There's never anything for them to take down.
Right, and it's not to say that they don't have idols. The Islam is not much different than other religions that they don't. Of course, they have a book. They have the Quran, you know, and
they have that giant thing in Mecca that they go in circles around. I'd call that an idol.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's the giant cube that was built around the rock that Abraham. I think was it the rock that Abraham almost sacrificed his son on? I think it's what's in there. I'd have to look that up again. It's been.
I thought it was the marketplace, like the original marketplace of Medina or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, no, Medina is definitely where it's at. It's there's two different ones now. The dome in Jerusalem that has like all the gold on it and everything, the Dome of the Rock, that's where Abraham's rock is, and that's also where the Muslims believe that Muhammad ascended to heaven in human form, and that's why it became a place of worship for Islam. Even though,
but correct me if I'm. Oh, sorry, Magog. But correct me if I'm wrong. Don't the Muslims actually believe that Jesus was a prophet, just not the prophet? Kind of like Mormons believe Jesus was a prophet, but what's his face, Joseph Smith or whatever, is the new prophet. They believe kind of the same thing, right? It's the same religion. They just continued it in their own way.
Yeah, it's the same God. It's a different prophet, and it's a different kind of creation. It all stems back from Abraham's sons, Ishmael and Isaac. Now, basically what happened is Islam would have never been created if Abraham had kept his dick in his pants. Honestly, that's what it is. It
would have been something else, dude.
It would have been a totally different rendition. Basically what happened was God promised Abraham a son with his wife, and she didn't get pregnant, and he got impatient and took a mistress. Okay. And then she bore a son, Ishmael. Okay. And then after Ishmael was born, God came back and was like, sorry, I'm late. Your wife's pregnant. And she gave birth to Isaac. He couldn't have that. You know, he couldn't have a mistress, a bastard son, if you will. So he cast Isaac and his mother out of the kingdom. And they settled somewhere else and kind of took the religion in its own different direction. Now, that's if you believe the biblical stories. The house of God in Medina, it's under a cube, and it's where the Holy Kaaba is. And that is basically, it was basically the first house of God built by Abraham. And that's what's inside that cube. They built a cube around it to protect it. And it used to be filled with idols back when the Bedouin tribes of early Islam, before it was like Islam, the people of the region were the Bedouin. And they had different gods. They had multitude of gods. They were a polytheistic society. And that created a lot of like struggles and war, you know, because Medina was the trading place. It was the only place that people could meet up, even if they were at war, and there would be peace there. It was the neutral zone. You know what I'm saying? It was Star Trek reference, neutral zone, right? But after they left the Medina, they'd fucking go to war with each other and shit. And it was usually always over whose God is right. And Abraham, you know, Abraham started this thing, but in Islam, Muhammad is the one who was the first one to kind of preach that there is only one God. And that's why when he took Medina back and threw out all the icons and idols from the Kaaba and broke their statues and told everybody there is only one God. There's not a bunch of these other gods that you people worship. A lot of people believe he did that to kind of end the wars between all the chieftains. The Bedouin tribes were at war with each other. But unifying everybody under one God kind of brought everybody together. And in the short time that Muhammad was alive, he actually unified an entire country and created an entire empire. Now, he didn't even get to live to see at its height, you know, but they spread all the way to fucking Spain, you know. It's conquered
almost any dictator, man. It's a same pattern. You see it. Well, you can see it with the Saudi royal family. I mean, trying to keep it within there, and you see with so many of these other dictators that it's just I see this pattern, and it's almost like E equals MC squared. It's usually one man with an amazing fucking will to power, and none of these people are none of these men, and they're almost always men. None of them are stupid. They're fucking, I would say they're genius levels, you know.
Well, it depends on who you're remembering from history too.
Huh?
It depends on who you're remembering from history. You know, are you talking about people like Alexander the Great and people like that? I mean, yeah, they were fucking conquerors, man. They were power hungry motherfuckers, you know.
I'm sure. First of all, I'm almost certain, psychologically speaking, they're probably all psychopaths. Like, they lost no sleep knowing that someone died that day because of their fucking direct orders.
Well, that's what
it is, you know.
Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, you're looking at it from our moral standpoint. Back then, morality was different.
No, I'm even talking now. I'm talking now like Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein, I'm sure that guy did not fucking lose any sleep. Do you ever see the footage of him in, like, I think it was 1979 when he does that purge, when he basically almost in a single day, he's taking power. He takes power of the bathroom and he just fucking purges everyone out.
Oh yeah.
That guy went to sleep probably that night like a baby, knowing that men were being tortured and murdered, but he's in power. All he cares about.
Well, it wasn't just about power. I mean, he learned very quickly that you have to be a violent motherfucker in order to keep the peace between, like, the Sunnis and the Shiites, because they just fucking hate each other.
Well, yeah, and say what you want about Saddam, but when he was in power, Iran was in check. Persia was in check. Because make no mistake, Iran is Persia.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Yeah. Not anymore. The Persian Empire ended a long time ago.
Sure it did. They have the want to be Persia. You can't say they don't. They want that power back.
Oh, sure. Yeah. One of the greatest kings of Persia was Xerxes. Xerxes was powerful, but who was the king before him? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I took history.
I can't remember his father's name, but I know who you're talking about. I love history, Magog. Actually, man, I would love to have you on a Red Eye stream to talk about history sometime.
Well, if I can have
maybe
the
I'll
time.
be on Twitter.
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter, man. If I have the time, I'll come on. But honestly, with all the changes going on YouTube and with me focusing on the channel plus being in school full time, like I'm surprised I'm awake right now. I'm supposed to be in bed because I got class in like 5 hours. But
hey, thanks for being on, bro. It's been a while since I talked to you, dude. I think the last time I talked to you was on a failure stream, dude, and I've been keeping up with your videos, dude. I fucking love what you're doing, man. I think you're one of those.
Yeah, well, I launched the live stream on Monday, Side Quest with Beardbarian and Vamp, and now I have an animated series, Magog Reanimated, and now I'm working on a couple other things. I'm even looking at maybe raising some money to build a studio and take Magog more in a sitcom direction.
Just don't do it away Poe, man. Poe is the shit.
No, Poe's not going anywhere. Of course, Poe's not going anywhere. Of course. You got to be fucking kidding me. I'm the best part of the show. Shut up, bud. You know?
No, dude, I love what you're doing, man. I think you're one of those that you deserve a fucking Netflix deal or something, man.
I appreciate it, man. I think what trapped me, and this is no insult to my fans or anything like that. I love my fans, but I think what really stunted me because of everything that's happening on YouTube is basically being so political. Nowadays, that's just it. You for some reason you could probably make a better living online if you're just more generic general comedy. Yeah, I'm not saying that's what I want to do with Magog. It's still going to be very adult comedy, you know, with cursing and things like that, and probably some off-colored jokes and humor. But I'm seeing kind of a stunted growth because all I'm doing is response videos, and I like doing response videos. I don't want to give them up, but at the same time, I want to try other things too. And so,
dude, I think, can I give you just some feedback, because
sure, man.
I love your videos, and I see, dude, and I'm starting to discover this too. You can't get away from this, and the reason why I think we can't get away from this kind of shit is because it really is important stuff. Nobody wants to talk about religion and politics, but it's what fucking shapes our lives, whether we like it or not. Right. And I think certain people, it's like a magnet. You can't help it, but it's true. If you wanna make a substantial living, because we all need to make a living. Yeah, don't waste too much of your time, especially with the YouTube drama shit. There are some videos that I see some of us making, and I myself need to get away from them, like this very stream, which I'm going to end very soon, because I could have been fucking halfway out of Florida by now.
Right, yeah.
So there's no excuse. But I think a lot of this shit, I mean, it really, I want to always make time for it, because I feel like these are the things that if everyone really knew about and was more interested, I think we'd live in a better world. I really do believe that. But it's a damn shame that most people don't give a fucking rat's ass. They just don't.
Right. I mean, have you ever been to the trending page on YouTube and seen what's trending? It's fucking sad. It's sad. It makes me sad for my children.
Yeah. Like I do straight politics and news pretty much.
Right. You know, I love like history and politics and the intrigue of it and everything, but not everybody's like that, man. I go over to the YouTube trending page and it's like how to make goo. Oh, fuck off. Oh, yeah. Why do you have 8 million subscribers?
I know, right? That's what I was going to say. Like, dude, I just hit 151 today. That's it, man. I'm tiny, and all I do is talk about intellectual politics and history. Like, nobody wants that.
I think it's also a matter of trying to make it as interesting as possible. Because I usually think to myself, how can I make the videos where someone who's into fucking the goo shit or whatever, Kim Kardashian fans and stuff, how can you make them interested? And that's
Nachi, I'll be honest, I haven't put out an original video in quite a long time. I'm trying to save up for a good editing program that I could use.
Why?
Why? Because I can't use Movie Freaking Maker. That crashes now.
No. Download DaVinci.
I'm looking at Active Presenter, and I tried that one you were talking about, and it's too good for my crappy PC.
Oh, you have a crappy PC? Well, never mind. Disregard. DaVinci Resolve is actually it does like fucking green screen effects and everything. You need at least a good solid 4 gig video card to run it.
Yeah, I have a crappy PC.
DaVinci?
Yeah, it's called DaVinci Resolve. The $1,000 version you don't really need because it's for actual it's for their decks they build. It's for actual movie making. Their free version pretty much has everything you need, and it's absolutely free. The one-time download, it's not even, pay for updates or anything. It's absolutely free. It's called DaVinci Resolve by Blackmagic Studios. It's a
no, I've heard of that. And I've been meaning to learn it, and I've tried getting around it, but I'm so used to Adobe Premiere and stuff, and I feel like such a chump paying for it. So
yeah, but if you have Premiere, why go back though? Like I'm giving that advice to people who want free shit. But if you get Premiere, Premiere's the shit. Like period.
Oh, okay, all right. No, and the one that I really want to learn is After Effects, because at least with that one I know I can get work. And I've even gotten work with Premiere and stuff, and let alone Photoshop and stuff. I've made my living off that,
But as far as like free stuff on a crappy computer, man, you're just stuck with like Movie Maker and shit until you get a better computer. So I'd be less concentrating on finding a free Movie Maker and actually concentrate on saving up some money to build you a decent rig.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I've been doing a lot of live streams. And I've been gaining subscribers slowly but surely. So I'll keep up the streaming until I have a good enough computer to do better. I'm looking at Active Presenter to put out a couple original videos. I mean, I feel like a dick because I actually have one Patreon for $5 and I'm not putting out original content. So I can't preview the video to them.
Well,
I feel like a dick.
The thing I've told people too is that, people ask me all the time, how'd you do it? How'd you get so big so fast? And I'm like, I'm not even big. I've got like 17,000 subscribers.
No, but hey, I remember when you fucking that's when I remember speaking with you when you were like less than 5,000.
Oh yeah. But that was like, I literally only started like 6 months ago. So, but how I got big, I think, is not just because I'm funny, because I do like that kind of shitlord comedy. And I am not really a political discourse, not in the way that like Sargon is, or maybe even you guys. Cause I mean, being on this stream, you guys probably can tell I'm well read, I do.
You're well lived.
Yeah. I've had a lot of life experiences and I've learned a lot of things over the years. And I've never made less than a 4.0 in school. I'm pretty high on the IQ scale. And then I turn around and I'm like, I'm going to be a drunk wizard. But I picked something that was out of the ordinary. See, nowadays with YouTube, especially with the changes they're making, you got to stand out. And honestly, the days of a cartoon avatar and just political discourse is not going to do it anymore. You've got to get a production value. You've got to you've got to amp it up, and you got to do collabs, and not just to gain fans, but to just like people are really turning to the collaboration efforts nowadays. That's why I started the live stream side quest with Vamp and Beardbarian every Monday night. It's because people want to see interactions and not just on a regular live stream. They want to see something new and exciting, and that's how I decided to stand out, and it worked. So every time somebody asked me that question, how'd you do it? Honestly, it was because I just chose to do something I thought outside the box.
No, you enjoy it, man.
Yeah, I enjoy it, but at the same time, it's getting tough, especially now that I'm back in school full time. And I've had to move the release of my content to weekends because I just throughout the week don't have time to do videos. I've like even tonight before I got on with you, I honestly just hopped on YouTube real quick because I was bored. I saw Monday Matt was live, popped onto his channel for a little bit, and then I saw you were live, and I was like, "Fucking Nachi, man! I ain't talked to him in forever." So I thought I'd.
I saw your little icon. I was like, "Oh, dude, fuck it! Here's the link, man."
Right? Sure. I didn't know. I didn't honestly expect to get an invite. I was just going to spam your chat a little bit, But honestly, I just finished writing like a 6-page paper on Indian poetry from India for one of my history classes. So it's not like I have a lot of time on my hands, and so expanding plus school plus work on the weekends too, because I clean apartments and stuff. Like if you guys try to contact me on Twitter and I don't answer, don't take it fucking personally.
No,
I'll get back to you eventually. I really will.
Spam some chats, man. Subscribe to my channel and spam my chat all the hell, dude. Like, enjoy. Please.
Right. No, and that's the other problem. It's really difficult keeping up with everyone too, man. There's like so many people, that you try to follow and shit like that. And yeah, I fell out of that with like Failure, for example, when we were doing the live streams on Tuesdays and shit like that. And then it's hard. And then
that didn't have anything to do with the drama with Ogre, did it?
No, not at all. For me, it was no, because I still keep in touch with Failure. Actually, I just contacted him today. I was like, "Hey, dude, so you fucking still in Florida? Did you fucking drive out? Because I know he's down here too." So.
I didn't want to start nothing. That's none of my business. I wasn't a part of that mess. People tried to make it my business, but that wasn't none of me. That I just know that you stream with Ogre a lot, and I didn't know if that had something to do with it.
Oh no! If it does, I don't know about it, and I don't want to know about it.
Right.
And that's the other thing.
Dude, Failure's in the chat right now talking about how Taco Bell's closed. I think you're good, Nachi.
He's coming in right now. Hold on a second. Hold the fucking get him in here right now.
Failure, what the fuck are you doing?
Get in here.
Just got some more gas. Fucking Taco Bell is closed. Why are you still in Florida, motherfucker? God damn it.
Maybe no, I have to get off. I have to get off, dude, because I feel like I should have been by fucking Virginia by now, dude. Without been fucking driving.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on. And Mad Dog,
Mad Dog.
Nice to meet you, dude.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. I try to be active in the community as much as I possibly can. But like I said, especially when you get some numbers under your belt, like subscriber wise, it gets a lot harder to pay attention because everybody kind of wants a piece of you. So be prepared for that if you ever start to grow and everything. I don't want you to take anything personally. I just try to help out people or talk to people. I just like talking to people. I don't get into the drama. I don't like it. Like it.
Oh, neither do I. I've had zero YouTube drama, but I do talk to Beard Barian every now and then. So
yeah, hit up Beardy, man. And we're trying to run side quests, with people that create characters and have costumes and shit, and get all these zany people on and be really entertaining. So if you ever want to show your face and create kind of a character, you can come by side quest sometime, because we're going to start having guests on side quest in the future.
All right, I'll look into a webcam and stuff, man. Maybe I'll do that. I'll have to think about what kind of character though. You already have a Beard Barian and a wizard. I mean, what's left?
Right. I don't know. It's up to your imagination. See, I'm trying to create something, kind of a new movement on YouTube. I don't know if it's working or not, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create something.
Beard, I could be the angry libertarian dwarf. I could just sit there with.
And I could be the fucking Cuban luchador.
Right. Yeah, Nachi's already got himself a little setup, but we're just trying to, it's interdimensional radio. We're just trying to get people with all these like zany kind of characteristics to kind of, but it has to be visual. We don't want to get anybody who's just like going to use an avatar, that's nothing, no offense to people who just use avatars. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't judge it. Even Sargon still uses them, and some of my favorite YouTubers use them, but it's kind of what we want for the show, because we're very visual people. We're already on camera in costumes and shit. So it just really looked mismatched if somebody was on with just an avatar. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
absolutely. Well, dude, find some Taco Bell, Failure.
I had to go to Checkers. It's the only thing open.
What's up, man? Long time no speak.
Yeah, I just got me some gas.
So let me ask you this: if you don't want to give away your location, you don't have to. But are you still down here in fucking the sphincter of Florida, or what?
I'm on Jew-ass 1 right now.
All right, yeah. So I don't feel so bad, because I feel like after all this fucking time on this live stream, I should have been fucking halfway out of Florida. But what do you know, by the way? What do you know about the traffic conditions and stuff?
Well, right now, all this is dead, except the gas stations. There's lines out of all the gas stations that still have gas.
But basically, it's impossible to get out of. It's pointless to even try to get out now.
Oh, dude, here's a couple of factors. Don't try to get out if you have a shitty car, because your car is going to die. There's a couple of people doing that, and they're fucking up all the cars. Thank you. Yeah. So, hold on a second. Let me put this on phone mode so I don't fucking crash while driving. Hey, guys.
What up, man? Hey, bro. And by the way, I might not have finished the. Well, we'll talk about that later on.
Okay. Yeah. Not a problem. No problem. We'll talk about. But yeah, don't try to leave if you have a shitty car, because there's a lot of people that their cars are overheating and catching fire. You know. Fucking. So if you have a '95 Toyota Corolla, don't try it.
And by the way, did you also like underestimate it? You know, is that the other reason why you kind of like you were like, yeah, fuck, they're always exaggerating how bad this is.
I got everything. My brother just ended up with an extra canister, and he was like, "Hey, if you find something while you go get Taco Bell, fill it up." So,
I'm saying leaving because there's only one person I know that made it to Virginia.
That. Honestly, and leaving has never been the plan. Like I'm fine where I am. I'm not worried. If anything, water and everything, like there's no flooding in the area, but if the water does rise, just go up to the second floor.
You're breaking up bad there, buddy.
No, well, look, I'll compensate for the breaking up. I've been following your live streams now, and I can see that little staircase in the back.
More, I'll go onto the roof.
Here's the thing: I've been watching your live streams, and judging from the little staircase, I think I know exactly where you live.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, you're breaking up.
The hurricane got him.
Yeah,
got him already.
Why he's breaking up? You guys have generators and stuff, right?
No, well,
or are you gonna?
Where I'm going, there is a generator, so you know that's that's why like part of me is not too worried. And by the way, if you see me doing this shit, it's my fucking cat's hairs. Part of me is not worried because, like I said, I've lived through this. It's usually way exaggerated and all that, even though as of late, that's why I am starting to worry when you see the footage from Houston, see what happened in St. Martin. It's like, oh, you know, I don't know. But fucking now it's too late. Now I got to ride this shit out, you know, so.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Whatever you decide to do, just be safe, man. You know.
But anyway, dude, now I kind of feel guilty cutting it short now that Failure came on, but he's breaking up anyway.
Right. I've got to get going myself anyway because it's I gotta be up for school in like 5 hours. So
no, dude, hey man, it was great catching up with you again, man, and thanks for fucking enriching the stream, dude.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on. Have to do it again sometime.
No, for sure, man. No, we'll keep in touch on Twitter. Just ignore me, you know. Fucking eventually.
just it's always a good policy. If I ignore you, it means I'm kind of paying attention.
Cool,
yeah, but Mad Dodge, man, it's good meeting you too, man. Hope you got your get things figured out with a new computer and everything. Thanks everybody for watching Nachi. Fucking
no, hey man, thanks.
Yeah. Fucking awesome. And you guys be safe. And if you get Failure back on, tell them to be safe too. You know, you guys just take care of yourselves.
For sure, bro. Thanks again, man.
Yep. Y'all have a good night.
You too, brother.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, Mad Dodge. I think.
Yeah, I know you're wrapping it up. Oh, I said, yeah, I know you're wrapping it up. Thank you, man.
No,
and
thanks,
be safe. Make sure you got food and water.
Yeah, no. I got it all fucking worked out. Let's just see, man. All I could do is cross my fingers and hope this shit goes eastbound into the ocean or something, man. And it just dissipates and stops fucking with people's lives. So we'll see. But that's life.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk to you in like 3 or 4 days, maybe a week when power comes back.
And good luck where you're at. So you got? Are you in danger of the forest fires and shit or
no? The fires are about 10 miles east and headed east, so we should be okay. There was a level 3 evacuation 15 miles east, but we had no evacuation order. But yeah, the whole West Coast is on fire, man. You guys are getting rain, we're getting fire.
It's it may be end of days, dude. I don't believe that shit, but it just might be. Who knows?
No, and thank God I work at home. I don't have to go outside. I opened the door earlier, and I literally just started coughing. The air is so clouded with smoke. We don't let the kids outside. We've been sealed up for a week inside the house, pretty much.
Damn, man.
Yep.
I'm gonna follow up on your videos to see if you're talking about that and stuff. And man, good luck to you, bro. Good luck to you. It sounds like you're in a worse condition than we are. You know, I almost feel
until that storm hits, brother. I'm worried about you more than I am me. The fire's headed east, and you guys have it headed right at you. That hurricane doesn't look like a joke, man. Be safe.
I know. Thank you, man. Thanks. Will do, bro. Anyway, with that, I am going to conclude and hopefully get some sleep once and for all, man. Let me see if I can. Thanks for helping me talk myself into sleep, dude.
All right. Thank you for having me on. And I got to talk to Magog, motherfucker. Thank you.
Yeah, man. He's a cool motherfucker, dude.
All right. And Failure. I've never talked to him either. But that was like 30 seconds of broken up cell phone talk. So that don't count.
Reach out to him. Reach out to him. He usually has fucking a bunch of people on his streams, dude. And sometimes they go for fucking 6 hours. I think one of the last ones I saw was 6 hours. I'm like, this guy's definitely not getting ready. So
all right, be safe, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up so you can end the stream and don't feel bad. So good night, sir.
Thanks, man. Late. And with that, I conclude this random live stream where I hope, obviously for myself, but for everyone else, man, Mother Nature, please stop fucking with us. Thanks for watching.